That's not my decision to make. I'm here to support you.
Okay, we're not on the record yet. I have someone in the meeting room with a 313 telephone number. What is your name, please?
Mr. Anthony Boone, therapist for Darnell.
I could not understand. You say it again, please.
My name is Anthony Boone, therapist for Darnell at Detroit Behavioral Institute.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sure, Brian.
Okay, could I have the attorneys and workers please identify themselves for the record? I'm sorry, this is a matter of Darnell Miller. Go ahead.
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Casey Cole, Jackson County DHS.
Kimberly Erickson, Jackson County DHS Foster Care.
Mike Kelly on behalf of Ms. Miller.
Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
And I see Patricia McGuire logged in. What's her role in this?
I think she might be here. Ms. McGuire, if you're here on the Vala Holler Jackson case, we're not going to hear that case today at all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Anything preliminary, Mr. Way?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, call your first witness.
I would call Casey Cole.
Ms. Cole, would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your full name for the record.
Casey Cole.
Go ahead, Mr. Way.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cole, you filed the petition in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
And at the time you filed the petition, was everything true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
At the time the petition was filed, was Darnell Miller, date of birth 12/31/2005, found here in Jackson County?
Yes.
Miller.
And is his adoptive mother, Heather Miller, date of birth 11/12/1971?
Yes.
And Darnell has no legal father, is that correct?
That is correct.
When you became involved with the family, Darnell was lodged at the Jackson County Youth Center on some sexual assault allegations, is that correct?
Yes.
Subsequent to him being lodged there, he was deemed incompetent to stand trial and was going to essentially be released from the youth center, is that correct?
Yes.
Through your investigation, were you able to discover that Darnell has serious psychological diagnoses, including PTSD, bipolar disorder, and autism spectrum disorder?
Correct.
In speaking with both Ms. Miller and Darnell's probation officer, were you able to determine that there were significant behavioral issues with Darnell when he was in Ms. Miller's care?
Correct.
And does Ms. Miller have other children in her home?
She does.
And one of the other children in her home was actually the victim, alleged victim of Darnell's sexual assault, is that correct?
Yes.
Based on all of that, well, were you also able to determine that in speaking with Ms. Miller that she's gone above and beyond what a typical parent you might encounter does in terms of getting Darnell services in order to address his psychological and behavioral issues?
Yes.
Did she indicate to you that because of Darnell's behaviors and his issues, that she could not take him into her home and keep the rest of the kids safe?
That is correct.
And did she also tell you that there were no willing or able relatives to provide care for Darnell at that time?
Yes, that's correct.
And as a result of all of that, was Darnell essentially homeless at the time that you filed the petition, or about to be homeless?
That is correct.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Was Darnell also, did Darnell also run away from home?
No, not to my knowledge. There was no issues with running away.
Okay, thank you. Counsel, any questions of the witness?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Any further testimony, Mr. Way?
Not from me, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any presentation, Mr. Kelly?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Presentation, Ms. McCluskey.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Can we dispense with arguments?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court does find, based upon the testimony, that Darnell, based upon his behaviors, is currently homeless in that he has no home to go to and is not domiciled with a parent or other legal responsible person due to his behaviors. Based upon that, I'm going to adjudicate him, place him with DHHS for care and services. Are we ready to proceed with disposition today?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are your recommendations for disposition?
DHS recommends that Darnell participate and successfully complete his residential treatment program, and that parenting time is supervised with discretion for unsupervised, with the visits to remain on campus.
Any objection to those recommendations?
Your Honor, would like to add to those if possible. He is now in the Detroit Behavioral Institute. He's been there since about October 5th. Up to that point, Miss Miller was having pretty much weekly contact with Darnell. She hasn't been able to speak with him since because we're waiting on the facility to set that up. We're not sure what's going on over the past couple of weeks, but she hasn't been able to have contact with him. But from that, he's had a whole host of services, counseling, things that have just simply not assisted too well. And what was brought up in my discussions with my client is possibly getting him to have an assessment at CTAC. He had one when he was 6 years old, and when he was under his original name of Darnell Farmer. We would request that be considered at this point as possibly giving further insight on how to assist Darnell and get the best care possible to get him to a place where maybe someday he can come home. But right now it seems like everything that Miss Miller has tried has just simply not been successful. So we felt maybe a CTAC assessment may assist his current providers in getting him the help he needs.
I was under the impression that the residential placements that are available, and I would assume where he is now, does have professionals there that are able to evaluate, make recommendations for treatment, therapy, medications if necessary. What do we gain from sending him over to Kalamazoo to CTAC for an assessment that we can't already get where he is?
I would think with how specialized they are over there, they're able to uncover things that a normal evaluation wouldn't. I think if the court recalls its dealing with CTAC on other cases, they've been able to uncover some things that other therapists and other assessments haven't been able to. I want to make sure there's no stone left unturned, Your Honor. He's still a young man, but at the same time, we want to end up having to come into another situation like this in a year and a half when they're considering returning home or something along those lines. And things haven't been addressed. We just don't, again, just don't want to leave any stone unturned. I don't know if the agency has any comment on or that idea, or if they want to look into that a little bit more. I would inquire of the caseworker.
I think it's oh, sorry,
No,
Ms.
go
Harrison.
ahead.
I think, I mean, it could potentially be helpful. I would ask that the court not order it, but maybe the court order DHS to look into it, and they can speak with the staff at DBI to explore kind of the value in it. Dr. Henry does an amazing job. Those are also very expensive, and if it's not going to gain us anything extra, I don't want to, pay for something that's not necessarily going to be extra helpful. And I'm sure Dr. Henry can probably provide some insight as to whether it might be helpful as well.
I would be inclined to order CTAC assessment if the agency, in consultation with the professionals at Detroit Behavioral Institute, believe that it would be beneficial.
Fair enough, Your Honor.
Okay, we will schedule this for review hearing then on
January 19th at 9 a.m.
anything
What
else
day?
the court needs. Anything else the court needs to address today?
No, Your Honor.
What is that again? Hello?
January 19th.
Thank
At
you.
9 a.m. All right. Thank you all. Have a good day.
You too, thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Matt, are you on your way down now?
I'm still sitting down, but I will be up shortly.
Thank you.